Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on the time you are watching this video. Let me switch the position of my camera to the top. Alright, I think we're okay like this. So, in today's video, we want to present to you our new software, which is called the HourWise Payroll Calculator. So, what does HourWise Payroll Calculator does? You can actually see it is now available to purchase at Ozmadugu.com website. You just go to the shop and you're going to see the product there. So you just select the product, you can read more information about it, and also you can now go ahead and actually purchase the product. So our Wise Payroll Calculator, this is actually an offline desktop system that allow you to be properly made calculation for your payroll systems. And this can actually be used by organizations. It can be used by businesses. It can also be used by schools, by institutions, consultants, and human resource departments. And this also is a secure software and also is efficient. It has an efficient way to actually calculate all the employee work and hours for the proper payroll system. So the Hourwise Payroll Calculator is actually a powerful desktop payroll solution that is designed for all of these individuals. And you can actually see the price currently is 25,000 naira per product. And in dollars, you can actually purchase it at $30 using the PayPal payment system. While for the can actually use the paystack payment system. So what does this calculator does? More information. You can actually check more of the information in these descriptions. Right. So the software allows employers to actually track the employee work schedule, to calculate payment and manage overtime, generate professional payroll reports, and produce QR code verification payroll summary. So that is what the system is designed for. Unlike your normal cloud-based way system, our Ozmadugu payroll system work completely offline, right, ensuring privacy, security, and uninterrupted access to your payroll record. So they have some key features here. So you can also go through the key features: employee work hour tracking, payroll calculator over time. You can check more of this information, and it also has a beautiful feature which I actually love to work with. And also in this video presentation for HourWise Payroll Calculator, I will actually be using the dark mode more often because I prefer to actually work with dark mode environments. So it's also an offline software and secure license activation. It's just a one-time activation system to calculate all of this. You don't need an offline online system to actually be doing that. So it's ideal for small businesses, also ideal for medium enterprise, school and educational institution that actually want to track the record for their employees based on our payment system. Also, NGOs, government office, human resource department, and also accountants and payroll officers, also used by consultants. The license is just an activation on one computer only. So if you actually want to install it on another computer, you will definitely have to get an activation code for that system, right? You definitely need to have an activation because after purchasing this, you need an activation. And for every system, they also have the number that you are going to send for us, the generated number provided on your screen after installation. So we are now going to use the number to actually generate your activation to allow you to actually activate the system. Benefit it is no monthly subscription system and fast payroll calculation, easy to use interface, professional payroll documentation, and secure offline operation. One time purchase is a one time purchase, and you can actually use this on Windows 10 and also Windows 11 system, right? On Windows 10 and also Windows 11 system. So let's quickly take you through the interface for that before we come back and continue on this. So like I said, the system is totally an offline system. So I'm actually going to off my internet because I don't want to work with the internet. So disconnect my internet access. So after disconnecting it, I'll go to the software. So let's start from the installation phase. I can right click and also run an administrator or just click on open. So anyone you choose, you can actually install the system using the method. So let's wait for it. So currently I am offline. You can see currently I'm not connected. I just need it for this system only. Let's wait for the installation to complete. Let's wait for the installation to complete. So I changed the position of my camera. In the position of my camera. So currently the camera should be at the top right. Let's wait for this installation to complete. And before it complete the installation process, you can also drop your review just by clicking on this. Just go to review. After purchasing this, you can actually select the rating that you want to provide. You can select the rating. Now you provide the name, the email address, and also you can provide your review. Mind you, when submitting this review, you have to use the email address you actually purchased the product. If not, you will not be able to submit a review. You must actually use the email address you purchase the product with, right? So when purchasing, you just click on the buy now, and it will automatically direct you to the buy now page to actually make the payment. So go back to the software. You can see the software has successfully installed. So run the system, run the Ozmadugu payroll system. Just click on the finish. So it will allow it to actually run, and the moment it's open, we are going to see the software here. So this is actually the recording software, also designed by us. Is actually we are using this to make our recording instead of using some of those online recording systems available. So we are actually designing our system just to ensure that most of what we'll be doing is actually using our own product to provide our services. So the software is installed now. So we're opening the system. So let's wait for it to come up. Just come up, just loading. So after the installation and you want to open the software, you're automatically going to see this. Please mind you, this is a live recording, right? So nothing is actually going to be edited because we're actually using our own software for that. So we're not editing anything. Everything is from the beginning of the installation and every other thing, just to achieve the process of how to work with this. So this is a single PC license and is also valid for one device only, one device. So after you purchase this, you get to this page. You are going to send this to us, the email address you use to purchase the product, the phone number with the detail. This product specifically, you attach all of them. You send them either as a WhatsApp message or as an email address to us. You can see our website and also the email from the site to actually send this. And also the phone number on the site is what you're actually going to work with to send this to our. So let's activate this. By sending this, we are going to get the activation code. If you try anything, it's actually not going to work. You are going to get invalid activation pin. So to get the proper pin, you have to send this for us to activate the system for you. So for this system, we have the activation code here. So I want to copy the activation code and paste. So activation successful. Thank you. So this is how the interface of the system is. We'll have some buttons at the top here, the file, the edit, to get this information, the view, and also user guide that will automatically redirect you to the proper page. So here we have the Ozmadugu our wise payroll calculator. So you can now provide all your details. So this is where you can actually provide the feed for the organization name. You can also provide the employer name. You also select the logos. Like I said, everything is totally offline. As you can see, I am totally offline. All right, I am totally offline. So you don't need to work with it online. So also scrolling down here, you can see the employee details. All right, you can be able to provide the details of the employee here, the staff ID, the department, the position, and also the phone number. So let's quickly implement all of this. But I would like to switch to the dark mode. You can see we have add rows. You can click on this to add more rows. All right, I can also use the undo to actually undo the row. Right, I can also undo the role I added. So if I click on this now, nothing to undo anymore. I can also redo it again to actually provide that. So after that, I actually want to delete this and work with the night mode. Right, so I actually want to work with the dark mode system. I don't need the light mode system. So this is now the interface for the dark mode for those that actually want to be working on the night. They prefer the night interface. So the name of the organization, we are going to provide the name of the organization. So after providing the name of the organization, you also provide the logo. Select the logo and you also provide that. Then you also provide the employee name. You provide the staff ID. You also provide the department and the position, just like we have said. So if you are done with everything, then you also click on the calculate to actually calculate all of those data and details for you. So this is where you are going to provide the employee name and the employer name here. And like I said, you can add rows for the calculation. So let's add a role. I am adding a role now to provide the data for all of this. You can also duplicate this role to have the date, the month, and all the details you needed, right? So let's provide that. I actually have a lot of things actually running from the interface here. A lot of things that are actually running in the system. A lot. So the organization name. So let's say the organization name is Ozmadugu, right? Okay. Let me copy this in. Ozmadugu General Enterprise. Employer name. Let's say now you can choose the logo of the organization. Click on this to select the logo of the organization. Let's go to our picture to actually add a logo. So this will actually appear at the top left of the file. That is the PDF file you're actually generating. The logo will automatically appear there. So we added this. So now let's provide the employee details. So who are the employee? Let's start with the first person. Let's say this is the first person. Okay, let's see. The first person I actually want to use to generate this. So Adamu Muhammad. Staff ID. So the company name can be the first three letters of the company. So I can add the 001 here slash what department, probably let's say ICT. So department ICT. So you can, based on what you actually have for your staff ID, these are the details you actually to provide here. So these ones we're testing with dummy data, please. What is the position? Okay, let's just put developer. Let's see. Software. The phone number, provide the phone number. So the date, you can actually select the date by clicking on this, right? It will pop up the date interface for you to actually choose from. So I want to start from 22nd. The start time is from 8, let's say 8 a.m. And also here, the end time, that is the closing time, let's say is actually 12, let's say 12:30 p.m. And please mind you, your time should actually align with each other. If I'm working with the start time for morning, this should actually be AM. If I'm working with the end time for PM, this must also be PM, please. This must also be PM. It shouldn't be at AM, it should be at PM. So, and like I said, another aspect of this is you don't actually need to add another row, that you input all of this data. What you needed to do is just duplicate this row. Duplicate this row, you just provide the next date, let's say 23. Is it the same time? Is it the same end time for the closing? And also, is it the same PM? Then if that is okay, or if it is not, you can now decide to change it to say, oh, maybe it's to 4:30 PM. Then after that, let's say the next day, I don't actually want to provide that. Next day is also to 12:30, from 8 a.m. to 12:30. So just go to the 8 a.m. to 12:30 and duplicate. That will now be the next row. If you notice what I did, just come here, click on this will now be the next role that will be duplicated here, right? The exact details here are the ones you are going to have that will duplicate here. If you click on this, the exact details here that will be duplicated for the next role. So what you needed to do, anyone, you can just click. If it is this time, you just change the date. If that is the same time, you just change the date to 24. If everything is okay, you should leave it. If it is to 8 or 4:30 to 4:30, so you just decide to choose which one. So 25th, and I'm okay with that. So probably for the 8 to 12:30, I should have about 4 hours 30 minutes. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 4 hours 30 minutes. Or so I have 4 hours 30 minutes, 4 hours 30 minutes. Let's probably make this random number. Just have this to be 0000, 8 to 12, and also 8 to 4, and also 8 to 12. So 8 to 12, I have 4 hours. 8 to 4, I have 8 hours. So I have 8 hours. I have another 4 hours. That should be 12 hours. So these four tables totally should give me 24 hours. So scrolling down, just go to my calculate without actually providing any data first. Just click on calculate. So it automatically calculates the details. You can see organization details is this. This is the employer name. This is the name of the employee, the ID, and also the department, the software developer, the position, and the phone number. Those data I provided. You can see our hours, 24 hours, right? So we have two 8 to 12 hours and two 8 to 4 hours, right? 2 8 to 4 hours and two 8 to 12 hours. So that is the total of hours. And also, if you look at the shift breakdown, you can see row 1, we have 4 hours. Row 2, I have 8 hours. Row 3, I have 4 hours. And row 4, I also have 8 hours. Sorry, I'm back to the interface of the internet. Let's go back to the software. Let me expand this more so that I should not actually go. Let me expand it more. So now we now have the overtime breakdown. So this is the overtime breakdown. You can see we don't have anything here because no overtime breakdown. Our payment breakdown, we don't have anything because no payment was actually provided, right? No payment. It's just these hours, and we decide to do the calculate. So with this, you can get your total hours. You don't need, if you don't want to actually do the calculation and everything, you automatically get your total hours. Then if you want to now provide the hour pay amount, so probably let's say for every hours employee are actually paid let's say 2,000 naira per hour. So 2,000 now multiplied by the 24 will give us the total hours. So just click on your calculate and also the total payment for that. So by clicking on the calculate, you can see I have 48, right? That is, I totally have 48,000. Instead of 24,000, I have 48,000 because it's 2 hours, right? And this one, the individual is actually going to get the net pay still remain 48,000 naira. Net pay still remains 48,000 because no overtime pay and no tax. So since there is no tax and no overtime, everything will stay the same amount that was actually set. The same amount will be paid to the employee. So let's say we want to provide a 5% tax. So the is actually 5. Please mind you, you are not putting zero point 0.5, you are not putting 0.05. The tax, if it is 5% tax, you input 5%. If it is 10%, you input 10. If it is 7.5, you input your 7.5. You are to put not the conversion rate for the percentage, right? Just put the actual percent, right? So if we do that, I can just go and also click on calculate. So the system will automatically calculate that with the tax. You can see. So this is the tax. So the total pay, that's the gross payment now, is expected to be 48,000, and the tax applied is 2,400 because it's 5%. So based on that, the net payment is actually going to be 45%. Now let's say, oh, we want to add the overtime. To add an overtime, click on the box. On checking this, you are telling the system that I want to add an overtime. What is the total overtime hours? The normal hour that we have, if you remember, is 24 hours, right? Let's say the total overtime hours is 6 hours, so make it 30 hours. And overtime rate per hour, what is the total rate per hour? Let's say this should be 1,000. So that means an individual is expected to get 6,000 naira for these overtime hours, right? So I'll click on the calculate and I go down. You can see total hours is 24. We will now have overtime breakdown. You can see overtime breakdown is now added 6 hours totally. And what is the pay is 6 hours at 1,000 naira per hour. So if we now go back to the payment breakdown, you find out that overtime is added to be 6,000. And if you have 6,000 also added to this, individual is automatically going to get 51,300, right? 5% of the total pay. Normal pay 48,000 because that is 24 hours, right? And it's 2,000 naira. Overtime is 1,000 and is 6 hours. So we have 6,000 naira. The gross payment will now be the combination of your normal pay plus your overtime pay. You are going to get 54 thousand, right? 54,000 because that should be 30 hours totally. You're going to get 54,000. Now, what is the 5% of that? So it's 2,700, and the net payment for that is 51,300. So that is how you'll be able to make all of this, and you can actually decide to share this with the employees so that they should be able to know the total work hours that they have carried out for the period of either 3 days, is it 2 days, is it 14 days, is it 30 days, that's in a month, depending on the number of days that the employee actually performed this. That's why we said you can actually use it to calculate all the activities that the employee actually done within the organization. Is it maybe different? Is it night shift that they perform all of this? What is the total hours and what is the hourly pay? So if you know all of those details, it's automatically going to ease your work to ensure that you properly have a better and a structural system to actually calculate this. And after doing this, you can actually share it with the employees. You can automatically share it with the employees because this will give them the insight or what they also did, and this will actually give them more understanding of the activity, and also try to ensure that they are properly working with their time, because they will not want to be late, because if they are late they will know that, oh, this thing was deducted from the payment. So that is how you'll be able to do that. The last aspect to actually explain in this video is the download report. So if you click on this download report, we are going to have two pop-up that will display. So the first one will not contain all the proper details because it's just going to be in the form of an XML format, but that is not the one we're going to work with. We're going to work with the one that asks us to print to PDF, right? So click on this download report. So you can see, so this is the normal one that you need to work with, all right? But that one actually go down here. You can see it. We now have two windows here, right? Two windows. So you have to work with this second. But for this one, you'll find out that it will ask you, right? Automatically coming with the employee name and everything. So if you select this, let's first select this. So I've saved that, right? So let's go and check that. Let's go to our download. Let's go to download. That is the name. The file saved now. This is the name, Adamu Muhammad Payroll Report. You can see. So by clicking on this, you can see the logo is there and some of the details are actually there. But this is just going to come just like this, right? So the proper details and all the breakdown and the necessary information that we needed is not actually captured, right? This is not the one you're actually working with. So the one you need to work with, if you go back to the software, you can see you have another interface here, right? So this interface, if you click on it, it's going to ask you to either print it, you select the different printers that you have, or you actually want to print it as a PDF. Microsoft Print to PDF. Just select Microsoft Print to PDF, right? And that is all. You just click on the print. So it's automatically going to ask you now to save it as a PDF. You cannot provide the employee, or let me replace it with the former one, right? The one that is not actually giving us the proper detail. So I will save it with that. Yes, I will replace it. So by so doing, I can now go and close this small interface that actually pop up for us for saving the software. And I will now go back to the download page and I will refresh this. And I will refresh. It has actually replaced the download. All right. So if I open this now, I'm going to have the proper data. You can see we now have the proper data, the logo, the name of the organization, this is the employer, this is the employee information that you actually provided, the payroll system. Let's actually zoom this so that you can see it clearly. Let's zoom this. You can see the logo, the employer, employee details provided, payroll summary. Now this is the organization details that you provided, employee information. These are the time summary, total time hours, right? The shift breakdown from different row 1, this is it. Row 2, these are the hours. Row 3, these are the hours. Row 4, and these are the overtime breakdown. You can see 6 hours at 1,000 naira per hour. Payment breakdown, then normal pay 48,000, overtime pay 6,000, gross payment 54,000, tax 5% 2,700, and the net payment is 51,300. Also, a QR was automatically generated. So the moment you take your phone to actually scan this QR, you are going to also get the data actually displayed, right, for this payment. You're automatically going to get the data that actually display for this payment. So the moment you scan this, you are automatically going to get the data, total hour work, and some other details that was actually sent to the QR. So you can properly track the employee details and the information for that employee. Also, using this QR, somebody cannot just formulate a paper and actually come and show you. You'll be able to get those proper information in the QR after it is being scanned. So that is how this system actually work. You can also see generated on what 6/26/2026. What time? Around 4:53, right? 6 seconds PM, right? 4:53, 6 seconds PM. That is the time we actually click on the calculate before we start all this explanation. So everything was captured. So you will be able to get all of this for proper documentation. You can print this and also keep in the office, or maybe insert this in the employee file, also share it to the employee, to their emails, or maybe to their WhatsApp, depending on how you actually communicate with your employee. That is how you'll be able to get that using this. So that is the overall explanation of how this HourWise Payroll Calculator works. That is the overall explanation. It works. You can also switch it to light mode. You can see this is the light mode interface. This is the light mode interface. You provide the data, you provide all the necessary information needed. But for my own case, seriously, I would love to work with the dark mode. So if I switch to this dark mode, I can actually zoom this, right? We can actually zoom. Oh, the zoom feature was not actually included, right? No, okay. Toggle full screen is just the full screen that you can have. Alright, it's just to get the full screen and also toggle out of the full screen. Alright, so I'm out of the full screen. So that is how this software actually work. That is how it actually works. So if you actually want to purchase this, and like we said, it's a one-time payment system, you just go to the software, the website. This is our recording software, please. This is our recording software. So we actually designed this recording software for our recording videos, right? So going back to the Ozmadugu site, so you'll be able to purchase this. Just like I said, you just click on this buy now button. Internet is off. Sorry, click go back and turn on the internet. Need to go back and turn on the internet because the calculation and everything we said is an offline payment system. So that is why I actually switch off the internet. Let's go and turn it on. Turn on my internet. I think it's actually not seeing the hotspot because it is actually for longer period of time. So it's actually not seeing it. It's actually not seeing it. So I'm going to get up and actually turn on that because like I said, this is a live recording. No editing is actually going to be made on this video. So I have turned it on. Let's wait for it to close the software, please. We're done with the software. Alright, can automatically turn off. You close the software. Internet is still trying to come up. So the internet is still trying to come up. I don't know why. It's taking time. Okay. Get the phone. On the internet. So still waiting for the internet. So let me just post it and just post the video. Yes. Okay. As internet is coming on, wait for the internet to come up. Right, still coming. So let's connect back, connect automatically. So the internet should connect back. So much activity is actually running. So go back to the site now. Let's post it. So our internet is back. So go back. So yeah, after clicking on that, like I said, let me go back again. Let's go back. Close this interface. It's taking much time. Okay, now you can see I said to purchase this, you just click on buy now. Right, just click on buy now. It will bring you to this page. So you are going to fill this detail. Right, you provide the name, first name, last name, company name, the address, and all the necessary information here. And mind you, the email address you have to provide here will be the email address you are actually going to use to submit your review for the product. Right, is actually what you are going to use because currently the system is designed for digital products where you don't need to actually register on our platform. What you just need to do is to go and actually purchase the product, and you're also going to have the email sent automatically to your mail after the purchase, and also redirect you to a successful page system whereby you can actually download the material there, or maybe the document, or maybe any of the file you actually provided for the software. So that will actually allow you to do that. So this is the price in naira, and this is also the price in dollar. So if you actually want to use naira in GMP stack, you select this. Just click on this. If it is PayPal, you select this for USD. Currently, this is still on hold to get the full access for this. All right. So we're also going to turn off this so that you can have access to this too. So the moment this is fully automated and approved and also implemented, we can also enable this. But currently, for now, we can just be using this tool for the payment within the system. So provide your details, place the order, redirect you to the page where you have to make the product. So you can purchase, you can actually reach out to us on the same number that you can also find on our contact page here. Alright, on the same number, alright, you can send email to info@ozmadugu.com, or you can also reach out to this phone number to send the details for the activation of the software as rightly explained in the video. So thank you and stay blessed. So goodbye.